Hello, welcome to Thespian Bard's Reviews. I'm Thespian Bard. Today is Twelfth Night, and tonight we will be discussing one of my favorite of William Shakespeare's plays. And if you haven't guessed by what I have just said, the play is Twelfth Night, or What You Will, as Shakespeare famously subtitled it. Twelfth Night is a beautiful play with very interesting plot points. Now let us get off with the story, shall we? The play begins in the palace of Duke Orsino, the male lead of the show, who is lounging in his throne room and relaxing, and he is moaning about his adoration for the ever-rejecting Ophelia. He muses on this for a while, and we get to find out a bit about the plot and his plight. Then we go to Viola, our heroine, and we find out that she has been shipwrecked and lost her brother at sea. She then decides to disguise herself as a boy, more particularly put on her brother's clothes and cut her hair and make herself look like a boy, and serve the Duke because the Countess Olivia, who the Duke loves, won't admit any sort of suit, not romantical or servential. So that's her status. So in any case, the Duke sends Viola to court Olivia. Now meanwhile, Olivia is mourning the dead love of her brother. Meanwhile, her uncle is pushing forward this one suitor, and also just making a big mess of everything because he's a drunkard. And she also has this very foppish and serious butler named Malvolio, who's a bit of a jerk, shall we say. We'll get to him later. So in any case, Orsino sends Viola, now called Cesario, to woo Olivia, but unfortunately Olivia falls for Cesario. Meanwhile, Viola, has fallen for Orsino. Viola's brother, Sebastian, turns out to be alive, and it becomes a whole comedy of just mistaken identities. And Antonio is a sea captain who's saved Sebastian, and there's a mix around with him. There's a fight where Sir Andrew Aguchi, the suitor that Sir Toby Belch, Olivia's uncle, was pushing. There's a jester called Feste who knows all. He's all-knowing. Let's see. And it all gets into a big boil of mess, so Olivia ends up marrying Sebastian, and the Duke gets mad at Viola for it, but then Viola and Sebastian mutually reveal that, it is revealed that Viola's a girl, and everything ends up happily. Orsino marries Viola. It's all well that ends well. It's a very wonderful play, and I do enjoy it. There's a Malvolio subplot where it turns out he's also in love with the Duchess, and it's Duchess Olivia, and he gets pranked, and he ends up swearing revenge against him. He's actually one of the more interesting characters of the show, though personally I am a big fan of both Viola and Orsino. All in all, it's a fun tale, and I would recommend it to anyone. I could go on and on about it, but I'm trying to keep these reviews somewhat short. So, in conclusion, Twelfth Night is definitely a wonderful play, and I highly recommend that anyone read it, especially if they are into mistaken identities. Much better than the other Shakespearean play of mistaken identities that sort of focuses on it, Comedy of Errors. I hate that play. But in any case, this has been Thespian Bard, and I have given my word on Twelfth Night. So long.